Hey you, it's Elle from elsies.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Real Techniques Modern Naturals palette. And while this is a neutral palette, they do have one called Night Owl which features purples. But this is the one that I'm going to be reviewing today. So when you receive it, this is what it looks like in the box, and it says Real Techniques Modern Naturals Kit. It also has the brushes from Real Techniques that they recommend. Speaking of the brushes, I have a blog post where I kind of share my favorite ones that I think you should purchase. But I did try using these different times when I tested out the product. And as the case with all of my product reviews, I test it out for at least a month before you guys see it on here or on the blog. On the back there's a code that you can scan in order to get the look, and there's a little bit more information. So once you open up the box, inside you'll find an ingredients list, and parabens are listed as one of the ingredients. As for the palette itself, this is what it looks like. It is a cardboard box with an embossed Real Techniques logo on the back. It has a magnetic enclosure, and it features a clear plastic flimsy window, which makes it look kind of bumpy and buckled, I guess you could say. This is going to be about the length of the Lorac Pro palette, the Balm Nude Tude palette, pretty similar to the Naked palettes in terms of length. Thickness wise, this is going to be the thickest palette that I own. The Too Faced palette is going to be pretty much about this thickness, so it's a little bit bigger, and it's thicker than the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. Inside we have 4 shadows here. We have a gel liner, a blush that's powder, a cream highlighter, and then 2 blushes. Now I'm wearing everything in here today. I'm going to walk you through it. First of all, we have 4 shadows, and you have this creamy cream shadow. That's the only way I can explain it, but it's very creamy and it has the best consistency out of anything in the palette. And I placed this on my lids today. I tried placing it on the center of my lids to get it to pop. It is a highlight. It's an inner corner highlight, and it is best and most pigmented if you apply it with your finger. Next, I have on my middle finger here the bronze shade. It's like a goldeny bronze shade, and this I applied to the center of my lid, and just like with the first shade, it's most pigmented if I apply it with my finger. Next, I have the brown matte shade, and that's on this finger, and I use this in my crease, and it is absolutely the most pigmented out of any of the shade. And then we're going to finish up with a taupe, and this is going to be shimmery, so you see it backwards here, but here are the shades. And I use this in my outer V. So overall, I found the shadows to be the highlight of the palette, with the matte brown being the most pigmented out of all of them, and then the taupe is going to have the most shimmer. But I feel that if you have neutral palettes already, you probably already have these shades. In fact, when I looked through my collection, I didn't find any dupes, but I did have a lot that are very similar color-wise. Next up, we have the chocolate brown gel liner. And this is on my lash line, but it is so hard to work with. I was really disappointed in this one. And this reminded me of if you've ever received one of those like cheap palettes for Christmas. You know that it's like 70 shades for $10 and the shape of a heart that you get from a drugstore or Walmart or somewhere. That's what it reminded me of. So not great quality, really hard to work with, and it smudges really easily. Next up, I have this really pretty light pink blush, and it looks like that swatched, and I have this on my cheeks today. I just felt like it wasn't really pigmented and that I had to work with it a lot. However, the name of the palette is Modern Naturals, so it's supposed to look natural. I tried using the Real Techniques blush brush with this, but it's just too big. Instead, I found myself pinching this F40 from Sigma, the large angle contour, to get it to, you know, like to apply on the cheeks. This was the closest to being like a chalky consistency, and it reminded me of the CoverGirl Cheekers. The cream highlight looks like this, and it is very, very creamy. I placed this along the tops of my cheekbones, along the highest point of my nose, but I felt like the glow, if you see any glow on camera, it's going to be from that brightening serum foundation I'm wearing from Bare Minerals. I felt like that gave me more of a glow than this did. I did like wearing this on my lids, on top of a shadow, or just as it is for a little bit of a glow, but I think if you have oily skin, it's probably not going to have enough staying power for you because it is really creamy. And I liked applying that highlight the best with fingers as opposed to using a brush. And to round it out, we have the 2 little mini glosses here. This first one is going to be a peachy pink, and it's slightly shimmery. I'll swatch it and see if you can tell. I don't think you'll be able to, but it looks like that, and this is what I have all over my lips. It's similar in color, just in case you have this, to the Sexy Mother Pucker in Baby Doll, but this is going to be way more pigmented than this is. I like the consistency of it. I feel it's like really creamy and not sticky on my lips, and it does make your lips look shiny, but there's no pigmentation, and it has like a chemical cocoa smell. So I'm not a fan of this one, but the color's pretty. I just wish it was more pigmented. Next up we have the gold, and this one definitely has a chemical smell. It smells awful, and it's something that I can detect even as I'm wearing it. So this is going to be this shade right here. So there's the pink, there's the gold. I put this on the center of my lips, but again, you're just not getting that pigmentation. But I keep reminding myself, like a broken record, it's a natural look. Overall, and I hate to do this, but I did not like this palette. I feel that I already have plenty of things that are like this that are much better. I feel like I already have these colors and I like those better. I like the consistency or staying power better. I didn't like the blush. I've got plenty of other blushes that are more pigmented that I liked. The highlighter is okay. The gloss colors would be pretty. I like the formulation of them, but they would be pretty if they were more pigmented. But I feel like you should take that $25 and instead go spend it on Real Technique brushes. I'll again link to that post so you can be sure to check those out if that's something that you're looking for. But I do love their brushes. To end this on a positive note, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Be safe, behave, and be well. Love Elle. Bye.